how to use the RSI when doing technical analysis. It's one of my favorite indicators. It's actually tied with the bands for my favorite indicator. So it's actually very simple. It is literally just a metric that gauges how overbought or oversold you are. Overbought means it is overextended and it is due for a pullback or a dip. Oversold means we are a little unjustified, where we have an unjustified sell-off and we're due for a correction in the upwards direction. So it's very simple, my friends. The most basic function of it, right? When you see it have this little blue shading at the top, at least on Webull, that is a sign of oversold, right? And typically 70 is going to be overbought, 30 is going to be oversold. So when you hit 85 on the RSI, that is a sell signal, and that is something to take into account with after you've watched all of the, if you're a beginner, after you've watched all of the tutorial videos, you will, after I get them done, you will literally know how to use this indicator completely. Right now, if you are, this is just your first video that you're watching here, you need to know other indicators as well. This is not, for example, okay, if we look right here, okay, you may be wondering, how I can just base it off past performance, right? Okay, every time you're at above 70, every time you get that blue shading on the overbought side, that is time to sell. Over here, you didn't hit it, and that was your biggest. That is when you should have sold the most, right? This is the biggest sell-off that we've had, right? Proportionally, percentage-wise, for a while, it was certainly bigger than this one. So this, in the RSI, this is why it didn't even hit 70, right? It kissed 70 and then boom, all the way straight back down to the lows of 38 on the relative strength index. So all in all here, you need to use the RSI, and it's very simple to understand. You probably already understand it, okay? Buy at 30, right? Amora doesn't even have a good example of at 30, okay? We have to go all the way back here, okay? Right here is a good example, right? So you're dipping, you get that golden shading on the RSI, you hit 2095, I'm getting that number right there. On the relative strength index on the RSI, that's your buy signal. If you would have bought there, 35 cents, you could have sold at 140, quick 3x in a matter of what? From 17th of March to 10th, okay, 3 months later, 10th. You literally 3 months, you're up a couple 100% using one indicator, right? This is, in hindsight, though, you need to keep this in mind. Of course, I can teach you how to use the indicators, and you should have bought here, should have sold here. In actuality, guys, it's much harder. It's much harder to buy the dip when you see red every single second and every single day consecutively, right? Obviously, we all wish we bought the dip back here. We wish we'd loaded the boat back here when it was only at $15. Now it's at 34. This is why having a macroscopic perspective and not only looking at one indicator such as the RSI, but pairing that with the MACD to get a direction, get a sentiment for gauging the actual movement in the stock. What are we actually in, a bear or bull market short term, right? Are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend short term? MACD is a great indicator for that, but the daily is a little slow to react. But pairing the RSI with the Bollinger Bands, MA, super trend, right? All of these things, right? You really want to use multiple indicators, and once you do that, it becomes very easy to gauge where you should buy, where you should sell. Especially easy when you do your research and fundamental deep due diligence on your companies, and they're in the long-term uptrend. You buy when it hits 30, you sell it when it hits 70. It's a proven technique, time and time again, right? These tutorial videos. These are timeless videos. These indications that I'm talking about, they will be relevant 5 years from now, right? If you're watching this in 2030, they will be relevant unless there's some AI that Neuralink is going to produce, Elon Musk, that figures out exactly when to buy and sell, just like that, okay? Unless something insane like that happens, and I'm going to tell you right now that is impossible based on our current understanding of technology and what we are doing as far as sophistication. There's nowhere in the future. So these videos and these indicators that I'm talking about will always be relevant. Now, some more advanced stuff. I want to take a different stock for an example here. I want to use Microvision. Okay, ignore the chart setup here. Okay, this may not be a great example back here because there's 1,000 charts. Doesn't cover the Fibonacci's, trend lines, right? I just want you to focus on the RSI down here. So when we were at $10 a share on the 20th of April, right, 420, right? We were at 37 on the RSI. That is closer to being oversold and overbought, right? That is a potential buy, right? As you kind of bleed here, you may notice the RSI has a direct correlation essentially to the price action, right? When the price action goes up, the RSI goes up. That's because as you increase in price, it becomes more overextended and due for a correction in the downwards direction. So as we get up here, you get to 75 exactly, then you come crashing down, right? Now, this is an interesting example because there's Wall Street Bets, earnings, big tech, NASDAQ, right? All the and overextended correction, right? Not even on the RSI. Not even signaled by the RSI. Other indicators have a correction indication that it is imminent. That's why I sold in the pre-market here. But anyways, the RSI it's a really clear indication for, are you overbought or oversold. So this is the key tool that you want to have in your arsenal. It's very simple. It's your bread and butter. I use it on every single trade I make and every single investment I make. I take a look at the RSI on several time frames. And talking a little bit about which time frame you should use it at, I'm going to pick a random stock, close my eyes so you can figure. So it's for your sake, if you're a beginner and you don't trust this indicator, to show you how accurate it is on any stock ever in the history of the world. I've got about, I don't know, a couple hundred stocks on here maybe. I'm going to pick a random one right here, close my eyes and pick one. Okay, I'm just going to pick, boom, double click. Okay, ORTX. So if we pull up the RSI here, guess what? Okay, I'm not even going to look at the RSI right now. It's very easy to tell that you're going to be very overbought right here because obviously you went from $5 to $9, 90%, 95% in the span of a couple days, right? I mean, literally, not even 15 days. You are spanning almost 100%. You pull up the RSI, you hit 76.74 at highs on the relative strength index. You got that blue shade. That is a sign to sell. And of course, these indicators can be false. This is just to show you, this example right here, just to show you how the RSI works, right? You get close to 70, sell, get close to 30, buy. But if we take an example where it actually, you get false signals from the RSI, the first example, you know what, let's just look at Bitcoin because we already took a look at Mara actually for the sake of freshness and for you not to get bored, right? The RSI here, the Bitcoin RSI. If you would have bought in when it was at 91.40, and by the way, the RSI goes from 0 to 100. You very rarely see anything below 20 and very rarely see anything above 90 or 80 even for that matter. But in today's market, you see 90 and 80 pretty often. But 91.40 on the RSI here, right? Buying in Bitcoin at $33,000, right? That sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it? Bitcoin right now is at 54K, and obviously you could have sold at it more than a 2x, and you would have been buying in at 91 on the RSI. And obviously the next day you go a little lower, it jumps way back down to a 78, and then obviously you still could have bought, and you're still technically overbought on the 78. It was still a dip on the RSI, but obviously my point here is that the RSI is not always true. It's not always 100% of the time. You can take a short position when something is at 70. You can take a long position when someone's at 30. No, this is why I want to stress the importance. I know I've said this, but you have to look at multiple indicators, and you have to have an understanding of what you're doing. You have to do your risk tolerance and goal assessment. You have to see what you're trying to do, and you have to look at multiple indicators in order to decide what is the best way to do that. I'll be showing you more in depth how to actually pair the RSI with other indications of price action. These indicators right here, these 7 are the main ones. And obviously when you pull them all up at the same time, it just seems like, Brandon, how the heck am I going to do? How the heck am I going to do this? I don't know anything about it. All I know is the RSI, and I barely understand that. My friends, I know you may seem like it may seem at this point like you don't fully understand it. As you look at the interaction with price action and really in regards to the RSI, you will start to understand it better. Experience in the market will tell you all you need to know with the RSI after you've watched this video and can comprehend what I am saying here. Overbought is 70, oversold is 30. Buy when it's low, sell when it's high, use it with other indicators. Once you get absolute grasp and understanding with those, that is really all we have to cover with the RSI. I mean, another thing we can say here is that there's different types of RSIs that we're not going into. We're not going into the RSI 6 or RSI 14 or 24. We are only using the standard RSI 14 on this video. I will have an advanced section that maybe we'll cover that. We'll cover some of the more esoteric indicators, such as some of these here that you have no idea what they are, or that you actually needed to use them. Some of these you don't need to use them, I'm going to be honest. But in conclusion, guys, watch the other videos, pump my channel intentionally. Okay, I'm biased, obviously. I want you to do that, but you guys, seriously, it's free technical analysis information for all of the indicators that you need to know for technical analysis trading, right? Obviously, if you don't think I'm credentialed, here's my portfolio. No other YouTubers in the world show you their portfolio because they just are successful, I guess. I'm getting a 40% cumulative profit and loss since the 28th of October. So about 5 months. About 5 months, say 5-6 months of having this account, about 40% killing the market, right? I mean, I'm not even killing the market. I'm beating it by a very handsome amount, but I'm not killing it because the Nasdaq has just been, just like this, straight down as well, but also straight up mostly. So also, a quick example of me being successful using these indicators. Today, I sold Microvision. I sold all of these shares. Average price of $29.24 this morning. Right, look at all these Microvision sales. And right here, 27, 29, 29. I sold at 29 today. We are now at $19. We are at $19.78 for Microvision. You know why I sold? Partly because of the RSI, my friends. So I'm just telling you, yes, I have a good track record and I'm credentialed, but that's not why you should believe me. You shouldn't believe me at all. Just look at what I'm saying, decide if you believe it based on the content of what I'm saying. Also, you can just fact check with any other RSI article or video. Okay, RSI, there's not any debate on what I'm saying here. Oversold is 30, overbought is 70. Typically, use this with the other indicators. You get auspicious trades like the one that I just made this morning, and obviously throughout my entire account history here with Webull. To be a successful trader, you need to understand all these indicators, though. Calculation formula, I'll link this in the description and the pinned comments if you want to give this a look. Sometimes with indicators, it pays to actually know what they are actually doing, and especially, I mean, with the Bollinger Bands more so, and some other indicators more so. For me, for RSI calculation, there's a lot of stuff here. Look how long this article is. You can, really, Wilder's smoothing method. This is the inventor of the calculation here. It's not necessary to know whatsoever the RSI calculation, but if you want to be a math wizard and you want to feel better because you know what it actually is doing and how it gets there, empirically, you don't need. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You don't need to read that whatsoever. But it is going to, if it makes you feel a little better, and who knows, maybe it can help your trading a little bit. I'll leave that there for you. Portfolio showcase and current positions. Those are the current positions. Okay, I show you my portfolio. I show you my track record, full transparency, everything. Only YouTuber that does that, my friends, with zero ads on time-sensitive videos. These videos, they are going to have ads a little bit. Also, I'm ranting relevant information in regards to title is finished now. Yeah, ads. These videos do have ads. The only reason why these videos have ads is because they're not time-sensitive information, and I don't make any money on the time-sensitive ones because I don't do ads except after the video, and no one is watching after the video. This is the knowledge that I have learned after a long time of trading. A long time it has taken me to perfect these trading techniques, and I know this video is very simple, RSI, but this is it's just one step in a rabbit hole of trading, and you can learn a serious life skill if you watch these videos. So yes, I'm putting ads on. Many months and years of suffering through learning these indicators, so I think it's fair for me to put some ads on. Anyways, unneeded justification. Okay, I'd like to be transparent and tell you all what I'm doing. So I guess, I guess I'll do it. I guess that's important. What do we do now, right? If you're still here and watching, if you're this intrigued by the channel and you just think I'm that handsome, right? No, I'm kidding. But seriously, like, sub, share, comment if you want. If you want to do that, that's cool. Twitter, follow my Twitter if you want. If you want to follow the Twitter, what's my Twitter name? How the hell would you know that, right? My friends, everything is in the description. Link is in pinned comment as well. Channel memberships are available. Everything. Anyways, guys, it's not financial advice. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one.